Hello friends, today's topic is being sued. Let's rant.
Get ready with me as I get ready for a court case as I'm getting sued by Credit One Banking from a credit card I opened up when I was 20 years old. I opened up this credit card mostly to help fund me in college. The limit was only $350, but unfortunately I broke my shoulder the same year. I have a huge scar and I couldn't pay it back. It then went to collections, and furthermost, I just thought that later on I would maybe pay it back in life. Maybe, I don't know. I would pay it back, but just not now. And then I got sued. So get ready with me. They're only suing me for $700. That's all they want, which I have in my account. But I'm going to try and see if I can get it down just for my $350 limit. I feel like I have lived 1,000 lives for being only 26 years old, and one of them would be that I broke my shoulder when I was 2019 when I was 19. I've gotten sober from alcohol. I'm almost 3 years sober. I own my own car. I'm trying my best. I went to college. So yeah, get ready with me.
If you want to hear something really totally embarrassing for me, I was supposed to have a court date today. Yeah, I ignored a debt collector and they sent it to a law firm to sue me. And yeah, I got sued by a debt collector. And I thought the chances of that happening were like slim to none. Like, it was only $1,000. Do they really want to have to go after me for $1,000? Like, what is that? No, they did. Yeah, they sent the constable to my house with the papers saying that I need to sort this out. Long story short, I settled for 80% of what I owe, and I paid it all off like 12 days ago. Thankfully, normally I would not have been able to do this, but my husband got a raise at work and it's been great. And yeah, my court date was scheduled for today. Thankfully that was canceled, but that was like the scariest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I was like, I don't just pay. I'll just pay. I'm like, I don't want to have to go to court. I have anxiety.
They sued me, y'all. The bank sued me for a credit card debt. But I flipped the script. Guess who's got to pay? It ain't me. That's right. I flipped the script when the credit card company sued me for credit card debt, and they end up having to pay me. It's time for you guys to learn how to do this. I want you to go ahead and follow, share, because I'm about to show you what the banks and the debt collectors hope you never learn.
What should you do if you're served with a credit card lawsuit? Hi, I'm Ryan Peterson, and I defend consumers who are sued for credit card debt in Minnesota. We're going to do a 4-part series about your main options in this situation. Today we're going to discuss when you should consider settling the creditor's claim. This is an option that I actually think more people should utilize because it's a lot easier than you'd think. Attempting to settle a debt is usually the best option when you don't have a defense to the lawsuit and you want to avoid having a judgment entered so that you can avoid having money taken out of your bank account or your paycheck. Most people assume that when they're served with a lawsuit, the creditor is going to insist on payment in full of the debt immediately. But this typically isn't the case. You can actually work yourself a pretty good deal by participating in the process. I suggest that immediately after receiving a summons, telephone the attorney's office and ask them what authority they have to enter into either a payment plan in the balance in full or a lump sum settlement for less than the full balance. At this point, they might ask you for a financial statement, where they want to get information from you about your wages or assets. Don't provide them with this information. Instead, politely decline and ask them once more what authority they have to settle. If they don't give you this information, at that point, consider making a settlement offer. The other option that you have is to retain an attorney who specializes in these cases. You can find an attorney in your area by visiting the website for the National Association of Consumer Advocates. I represent people who are sued for these debts in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and I'm typically able to get them a better deal than they could get for themselves, even when you account for the flat fee that I charge. The most important thing to remember is, if you aren't able to reach an agreement with the creditor right away, be sure to read the summons closely and follow its instructions. If there's a court hearing, show up. If there are instructions, draft and serve a written answer, make sure to do so precisely as instructed. You need to make sure that a default judgment isn't entered against you so that you can preserve your ability to reach a beneficial agreement with the creditor at a later time in the lawsuit.
These papers right here are my summoning to court for my lawsuit. Update on how I'm being sued. Okay, so I'm gonna say the credit card. I signed up for a credit card and it helped me at the time, but screwed me over now. So I'm gonna do like a whole story time on this, but basically at the time where I was moving out, I had to pay a lot of money in taxes because of my old job, which love that. The government took a lot of money from me because of unemployment, but it was wrongfully taken. It's a long story. Basically, I had nothing but a credit card to my name as far as money, financially, and I also had to move out 3 days after. Basically, I signed up for the credit card so I could have, you know, food, a living, like items I could live off of. All the money that I had on that credit card that wasn't really mine because it's a credit card, I used to pay first month's rent and then the other thing you pay. So basically, I had no money. And I'm a person that hates to ask for help, which after moving out and losing everything money-wise, I've learned to grow into being okay with asking for help. So I was basically in a lot of debt at this point, and I was just like in between jobs, working 2 jobs at one point, and I am very irresponsible with money, so I was like, okay, I can always just pay the credit card whenever I get like a large sum of money. I only had like a limit of $400, so I was like, okay, $400, I can pay this whenever, you know, and I'll next week turn into next month, and then next year, and then now we're here where I'm being sued by. And whenever they would call, I would get so anxious, because one, I hate phone calls, like they make me so uncomfortable. So whenever they would call, I'm like, oh God, they're here to get me, blah, 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 blah. Let me just not answer, because that's like the best answer, which it's not. So if you're ever in this situation, just answer the phone. And I'm still, just answer the phone. They're just trying to get their money, and they're not trying to like get to this point. Basically what happened was they went to my mom's house and gave her the letter because my address was there when I signed up for the card. And like this whole week, I've been panicking because I'm like, well, I gotta go to court. I don't know how the hell to go about doing that at all. But yesterday, I went to my mom's house and was trying to work things out. I called like 4 different places to try to like figure out how to do this because I've never been in a situation. And I was panicking, and then I finally just called the number. Luckily, I was able to do a settlement plan. I just kind of have to pay the money off, and they're gonna give me, I have up to 6 months to pay it off, which I'm not gonna let it get to that point. And me recording this video will hold me accountable. So it was a big, huge weight lifted off my shoulder. I don't have to end up going to court unless I don't pay it, which is so relieving. But yeah, so update on that. Thank you anyone that left nice comments and like, you know, supported me even just in real life. I really appreciate it, because I was going over that paper, the cost and the cost of a lawyer and everything. I'm just like, I'm already getting sued for more money that I don't have. How am I gonna pay for the suit? It didn't make sense. Definitely a lesson learned. Please make sure to pay off your credit cards on time, and don't sign up for one, and don't live outside of your means. Anyways, chef's kiss. I have hot Cheeto fingers. I gotta go. Bye.
If you owe money, just pay it back as soon as possible. You don't want any trouble down the road. What do you think about this video? And thank you for watching. Until next time.